Inspirational Creatives, episode 260.
We're talking about persistence. Every day doing something that will take you a step closer to where you want to go. Whether this is an artistic goal you have, a personal goal, or even a self-development goal.
Welcome to Inspirational Creatives. I'm your host, Rob Lawrence. Join me every Friday as I chat with successful artists, producers, and creative entrepreneurs who share powerful stories and strategies. They can help you to create the life that you want. Listen each week as these inspirational creatives show you how to take your creativity to the next level. You'll learn how to create a sustainable business that inspires others and gives you the financial freedom and lifestyle that you want. Thanks for listening. Make sure you sign up at inspirationalcreatives.com to get free exclusive bonus material. And now, on with the show. Rob here, and a very warm welcome to this short action episode on Inspirational Creatives. Today we're going to talk about the 3 mistakes most creatives make when it comes to achieving their goals. Before we get stuck in, if you're new to Inspirational Creatives, these short action episodes appear every Wednesday and they're designed to help you take some small yet life-changing action towards living the life that you want. The idea is that these seemingly small ideas can have a big impact on your life, and I hope for you that today's wisdom is no exception. Now, as you can imagine, when it comes to succeeding with our creative work, a lot of what we do, regardless of whether we're creating a new piece of art or a new business or project, there are some underlying principles, common themes if you like, that we can learn from that are common to those that are most successful. In episode 259, I interviewed musician and entrepreneur Tommy Darker, who is the founder of the WhiiseCon online conference, which is launching in just a couple of weeks' time. This conference features some of the best musicians and most highly regarded music professionals in the world today, and I want to share with you what Tommy has learned from them about succeeding with our creative work. Tommy's had the great fortune to chat with these successful people and learn more about their journeys, their trials and tribulations. And I'd like to share with you today, in this short action episode, what he kindly shared with me in episode 259 about the 3 key themes that he believes have contributed to their success. In our conversation, I asked Tommy what he felt were some of the biggest mistakes aspiring musicians are making today. He shared with me at least 3 principles or themes, and I'd like to share those with you now. Although the core of our conversation was around music, musicians, and success, I believe that these guiding principles, these themes, can apply to any creative endeavour. So the first of these themes that Tommy had to share with us is hard work.
We underestimate how hard we work. I've seen people that have worked way harder than me in this conference. By seeing that they work so much harder than me, it's a reminder there is more room, always more room to work harder and work smarter. So I would say hard work is something that we underestimate. We think we're the most hardworking people till we get amazed about how much harder somebody else has worked and why they're there. And sometimes I'm not even sure if I can work that hard as they do. So one thing is hard work.
Hard work is something we underestimate until we see others and the commitment that they are putting in. In episode 259, Tommy shared with us a short story which was his own reflection upon the importance of working hard and working smart.
When I was 17 years old, my father told me back in Greece before graduating from high school that, Tommy, you are the smartest person I know. It was a small village, like 6,000 people. So I couldn't have been the smartest person on earth. But yeah, probably I was one of the smartest ones in that village. He said, Tommy, you're the smartest person I know. But if you don't work hard enough, the stupid person will get much better than you. And that was like an alarm ringing. Like my father probably saw something in me that I was not working hard enough. And probably that was right. I was pretty much relying on my quick understanding of maths and physics, and using my brain instead of studying more to get great grades. But I was very curious as well. So I always liked things that were practical. Eventually, I realized what he meant when I started having the first difficulties in achieving my goals, because it was outside of my comfort zone. So this way, I found in the hard way why I should work smart and hard as well.
There's always room to work harder and smarter. When we're completely honest with ourselves, we can ask ourselves, are we putting in the hours that we need to towards achieving our aims? And how do we qualify? How do we know that the action we are taking is the right action too? Sometimes we shy away from hard work because we find ourselves working outside of our comfort zone, and this may feel tough. But maybe, just maybe, being a little bit outside of our comfort zone is the perfect place to be when we are applying ourselves to the work that matters most to us.
Another theme that I really love, and probably because I was in the military and that was a part of the whole training, is about discipline and persistence. Simply, most people that I see will fail, and there is studies about this, by the way, if you want me to send you for the notes of this podcast, that they will not achieve their goal simply because they gave up before getting there.
So the second theme that Tommy had to share with us, having spoken to all these successful people, is this theme of quitting too soon. It's a matter of discipline and persistence.
So it's not that they will not achieve the goal, it's that just that the time has not arrived yet, right? So in the future, everybody can achieve their goal. It's just that you need to stick with what you're doing and get better and find what works and what doesn't without giving up till that moment.
It's not that you can't achieve your goal. According to Tommy, it's a matter of timing and finding out for you what works and what doesn't.
Otherwise, you will give up and you might be an inch close to, this source of diamonds that you were looking for. There's a lot of, caricatures of just people, digging and being, one step away from diamonds, but then, giving up and going back while the other person has kept going and they find the diamonds that we're looking for.
Tommy reminds me of the formula: success equals preparation plus opportunity. Opportunities we have some control over by putting ourselves in the right place, ready for the right time. But as for preparation, well, this is where the discipline and persistence come in.
Discipline is something that I've seen in every musician on the conference, and that gets translated practically in daily routines. So what they do is that they have specific things that they do every day.
Tommy's message here is not to give up too soon. It's about creating powerful habits and daily routines. It's a case of being patient whilst continually applying yourself.
One of the questions that I'm asking is, if I was a fly on the wall, what would I see in your life daily? How does your daily routine look like? And it's quite interesting to see how people from all over the world, from the UK to the US to Malaysia to Canada to Sweden, Iceland, India, Mexico, what they do to achieve their goals every day. Because every day is a struggle for everyone. Every day they have to wake up, things don't happen automatically. They have to stay disciplined, they have to persist, and to find solutions to their problems. So I guess I learned the hard way, again, with a personal note, I learned the hard way about discipline from the army, because we're trained for 2 years straight, being almost locked in a building where we could only go out 1 or 2 days per week, unless you're actually punished. So you were, there doing some chores and staying inside, locked. But for me, what I learned from waking up 5 o'clock every morning for 2 years was that consistency actually makes things easier. Once you stay disciplined and you create a routine that works in your favor, initially it's going to be very difficult. You're going to have resistance. You're going to have a lot of thoughts, second thoughts. Maybe you should take the easy way out. And this is what usually people do. But eventually, once this becomes a habit, and usually it takes from 21 days to 2 months. The 21 days, by the way, it's an urban myth. It's not 21 days for every habit. That's the low end of the spectrum. There is a few habits that might take even 2 months for them to start, becoming an integrated part of your day. Sticking to these good habits eventually will make the whole thing very seamless.
Discipline and consistency make things easier. Through discipline and consistency, you can create powerful routines, the results of which compound over time. With what Tommy has found, consistency, created with the discipline of the right activity and the right habits, executed over time, will make achieving your aims seamless.
We're talking about persistence. So every day doing something that will take you a step closer to where you want to go. Whether this is an artistic goal you have, a personal goal, or even a self-development goal. We all want to be a better version of ourselves as we grow up. This is the second, probably the biggest lesson that I've got from all these speakers. They are very disciplined, they're very consistent, And probably this need for discipline and consistency comes from their sense of mission. So I would say this is the last part. I wouldn't like to mention too much about this because it's interesting stories. You should go and check out the conference. But everybody has a sense of mission. They want to be bigger than themselves, and they don't just care about making music and just making money and that's it. They all have things that they care about. They have missions outside of music. Some of them have really big ventures outside of music. Some of them are philanthropists. Some of them are educators. But they all have something big in them that keeps them going. There's always a new peak to conquer. Not just the shallow hills that we can all see and it's quite easy to obtain. They all aim for the mountain.
The artists and those that Tommy has spoken to all have a sense of mission which is much grander than who they are. Through the conversations he's been having with those featured in his upcoming conference, he has learned that their dedication to their art, their sense of commitment, which has inspired the necessary habits, discipline and consistent action towards their goals, has been strongly derived from a greater sense of purpose. They greatly believe in what they do. They have a strong sense of mission. I hope you've enjoyed some of Tommy's wisdom in this short action episode today. Let me know how these ideas in today's short action episode have resonated with you by dropping me an email at rob@inspirationalcreatives.com. To hear more from Tommy, head on over to inspirationalcreatives.com and look for episode 259, and you can hear my full conversation with Tommy there. And to learn more about his upcoming conference, WhiiseCon, head over to WhiiseCon.com. That's WhiiseCon.com. And I'll chat to you soon. Thanks for listening. Nothing beats the stories and advice of an expert to help you raise your creative game. I would love to know what you thought about today's episode, so don't forget to subscribe in iTunes, where you can rate and review the show. If you like this episode, I invite you to share it on Facebook or Twitter with the one person you know who will benefit from the wisdom shared here today. You can find the show notes on inspirationalcreatives.com/podcast. If you have a burning question or a great idea for a guest, head on over to inspirationalcreatives.com/contact, where you can connect with me there. This episode of Inspirational Creatives is hosted on the podcast platform Libsyn. If you're thinking of starting your own podcast, and if you're looking for a podcast host, Libsyn is the podcast hosting platform that the Inspirational Creatives podcast has been reliably hosted on since launching in November 2014. If you'd like to give it a try, I'm pleased to share with you the promo code CREATIVE, which you can use on libsyn.com. That promo code is good for up to 2 months free trial. If you use the code at the beginning of a month, then you'll receive all of that month and the next month free. However, if you use the promo code later in the month, you'll get the remainder of that month free and the following month free too. That promo code is CREATIVE, which you can use on libsyn.com.